All right, 2.8 graph linear inequalities. In two variables. So, these are like the problems that are like less than, greater than, or like less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So if you just have less than or just greater than, is it going to be solid or dotted? And if it's the or equal to? Solid. And then we shade in the direction of the opening. Okay. So the first ones just want to know if the ordered pair is a solution when you plug it in. So number 4, y less than or equal to negative 5x, and we're given the ordered pairs 3, 2, and negative 2, 1. So it wants us to test both of them and see if one, both, or neither are solutions. So all we do is we plug it in. So I'm going to do the 3, 2, 1 first. So 2 is less than or equal to negative 5 times 3. So 2 is less than or equal to negative 15. So is that a solution? No. So not a solution. I think I've told y'all before, but SOLN is just another way to write solution if you want to shorten it. So we test the other one. So 1 is less than or equal to negative 5 times negative 2. So 1 is less than or equal to 10. So is this one a solution? So it's a solution. Not too hard, right? All right. So we'll just go ahead and move into graphing. There's only a few of those anyways, but I feel like that's pretty elementary algebra there. So, all right. I'm going to, I think, switch this over to the graph paper just because I can. So these next ones are they're all just graphing. So it's just graph and shade. So if you want to use like different colors when you're doing your homework, or even when we get to the quiz or the test for like shading and stuff, that's fine. These are all just like one equation. Later on when we get to the ones that are like 2 equations and 2 unknowns and stuff, you'll definitely want colors to shade. So I don't care, but today it's just the 1 equations. So the first one is x is greater than or equal to 6. So I'm going to graph it like normal. So and you're welcome to use graph paper if you don't want to. That's also fine. Anyways. So where would this graph be?
X and 6.
Yep. And is it going to be solid or dotted?
Solid.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So solid. And then am I shading on the left or the right? The right, because it's greater than, so it's where x is bigger. So I'm going to shade over here. And if you want to use like a highlighter or something when you shade, that's cool too. Oh, wrong thing. Let's see. Number 12. Y is less than 3x plus 3. All right, so how would I graph this?
You start at 3 on the y-axis, and then you go up 3 over 1.
Yeah, so up 3 over 1, that's going to end up putting me, well, over here. I can go down 3, back 1. And are we solid or dotted this time? dotted because it's just less than. And then am I shading above or below? Below. So I'm shading down here. Let's see. Whoa, what just happened? Hello, stop freaking out. There we go. 14, y is greater than or equal to negative 2/3 times x minus 2. Alright, so how would I graph this one?
From -2 on the y-axis, then down to right 3.
Down to right 3. And I can also go up to back 3. And then am I solid or dotted this time? Now, if you have a pencil, obviously it's not as big of a deal, but if you had drawn something solid and you realized it was supposed to be dotted and you were using like the colors or whatever, if that were to happen, now this one's obviously not, but just draw an arrow to it and just label it as dotted. I mean, I don't want you to do that on every single one of them, but if you're like, oh man, I wrote it and I did it wrong, just write it like that, and that way I'll know, okay, they realized it was supposed to be dotted and they just accidentally drew it. If you have a pencil, just erase some lines in it, but all right, and then am I shading above or below? Above. All right, let's do one more.
Why would it be above? I think I did that one wrong.
So it's y is greater than or equal to.
Oh, I was thinking it was like if we were negative or not. Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's the y. So like with the x one, we shaded to the right of it because it was x is greater than. So it's where that value is bigger. So where is y bigger than what we drew on the graph?
Okay, that makes sense.
Hey, better to make the mistake now than on a quiz or a test later.
I was surprised I got the ones right. I did get right on the side. I was just guessing, man.
All right, so then the last one that we'll do, unless y'all feel like you need to see more, is 16. X plus 4y is greater than negative 12. I presume you've done some graphing with these before, probably. In Algebra 1, at least a little bit. All right, so you have a couple options here for graphing this. You could use the intercept cover-up method if you wanted to do that, or you could actually go through and graph. The only thing, well, I mean, it's going to kind of end up happening regardless, but the only thing if you do the intercept method is that you've got to draw a really big graph because of it's going to end up being x is negative 12. So you're going to have to go way out to negative 12. Fine if you want to do that, but I mean, I trust that y'all know how to do the cover-up method, so I'm going to move everything over, but if you were like, no, I would rather do that and draw a really big graph, that's fine, or you can count by twos or whatever you're feeling, I don't care. So to move this stuff over, I'm going to move x over, so I have 4y is greater than negative x minus 12, and then divide by 4, y is greater than negative 1/4 x minus 12. And just something to note really quick, if that had been minus 4y, don't forget that when you do that, you would need to flip the sign on your inequality, but we don't need to do that because we were just dividing by a positive number. So, Oh wait, that's not negative 12. Sorry guys, that's 3. Just copying things down here. All right, so I'm gonna set up my graph. All right, so graphing this one, what do I do first?
Start at -3 on the y-axis.
Yep. And then what?
Up 1, left 4, down 1, right.
Yep. Up 1, back 4, or down 1 over 4. And solid or dotted? Dotted. Oh boy. It's a weird angle. Close enough. And then am I shading above or below for this one?
Above.
Yep. So y is greater than, so we're going above. That was weird. What is happening? Things like freaking out on me. Super weird. Okay. So I'm just gonna have you do number 5, 9, 11, 13, and 17. If you for some reason feel like you need to do more, you're absolutely welcome to do more, but